In this video, I would like to explain about creating the events. To create events, you need to go to the education module here and click the events button, and it will jump to the calendar. So for example, let's take the 15th of the August to create the event. And we have here the new page where we can create the event. So we have different kind of the types of events. And we can create a distance education event, for example, and we will specify the class for the distance education, let's say 10A, and period, the 5th period, for example. And here we can specify the name, lesson 1, and save it. So now we have here the lesson 1, 10A, distance education event. So also students will be notified by the message from the EduPage. So the next event is the school event, but here it's written that the lesson with the class teacher. So lesson with class teacher means that only the class teacher can create this event. Let's create the, for example, field trip. And we have here two options: do not cancel or cancel default lesson. Click here and you will see that we have here option to leave the same as is default, do not cancel, or it cancels the original lesson. So let's cancel the original lesson. And the name of the event, let's say the field trip 1, and it will take the periods 2 to 5, and will be attending here. We can specify it as a course or as a subject, the course that you have, 10A mathematics or others. So the subject that school has for this academic year, and we can specify the class, for example 10A. And let's take another day, for example today. So we can specify that entire class is gonna attend, or just some kind of group, boys, girls, etc. Or we can specify the students here. We can grab 2 of them or all of them. And we can take also the teachers. So we can take more than 1 teacher. For example, let's take 2. And here, see that we have also the timetable for these teachers, or also the students. As we see, we have here teacher and students in the same period, so this class will be just cancelled. And for this period with the 11B, admin needs to find another substitute teacher. Also, we can specify here the classroom. For example, if the students would like to leave their backpacks or another stuff there, so we can specify that we're also gonna use 102 classroom for these periods. And at the end, we need to click here to take the mass absence note, so that students will be excused for other kind of the events or the classes, etc. So let's save it now. And when we click the mass absence note, it can appear only for the class teachers. So it's filter 1. And here we can specify the periods, so days as well. And the type of the absence is specified by the admin. So here is as a default excused lesson, or we can write the representation also, or an unexcused lesson as well. So let's take here excused lesson, and it will just ask you to verify about 3 students. Mass absence note sent to the students attendance now. So it's 11th of the August. We had the field trip. Let's create another event. For example, 10th of the August. We have here another type of the event is the performance testing. See that we have big exam, unit test, small exam, oral exams, report, project. All of them can be done by the subject teacher. So it's not going to cancel the default lesson. It's showing that do not cancel default lesson. And we can specify the name. Let's say that is the big exam. And we can write the like say unit 1, and we can specify the period or time range. Let's say that is during the period 3 to 4, and also we can write here the course. It depends on our list of the course. Here we need to specify the subject. See that this is showing that it's required fields here, so we need to specify the subject, for example mathematics, also the class, let's say 10A. So during this periods they are gonna take the exam. We can specify this that during the period 5, for example, so it's gonna match with the math. And teacher here is one teacher, and also the classroom 104. And whenever we click save, teacher, students, parents will be notified. And for each kind of events, we also have here the privacy part. As a default, we have here the public, so all teachers can see your event here, and also it will be showing here the date, and they also can check when and who is making the event as a big exam. Or you can specify that it's only for the participants plus teachers, or make it all for all teachers, or make it for participants only. If only the participants, then it will be seen only for you and your students. Save it. The next event we can create is the meetings of teachers. So it can be the conference of teachers. So let's create the meetings of teachers. Let's say department meeting. And we can specify also the period. Let's say we are going to specify the time range. Let's say it's between 2 o'clock to 2:45. And we need to specify here teachers, as is the meeting of teachers. It's required to include here the teachers. So we will like to include, let's say, all of them. And during the time we see that teachers are available, and we don't need to move the time of the meeting. And we need to specify also the classroom. Whenever you save, the notification will be sent to the teachers as well. The next event, let's create here, is about the booking the classroom. So you can book the classroom in advance, and here you specify as a default is required here to specify the teacher. So I'm going to book that classroom, and also I need to specify the classroom as well. So I would like to book for entire day or for periods. You can specify here. So you can also write here the reason. Maybe it's a parents meeting, and save it. So during the day, room 102 will be booked. And the next event, let's create 9th of the August. We can create the other events. So it can be safety instructions, parents evening, class register, representation. So it depends on your purpose here. Let's create the safety instructions, and we can specify that it's not going to cancel the default lesson, or it cancels the default lesson. And we need to specify here the class, the teacher, the subject, the classroom, as we did before. Also, as you see, we have every time the public as a default here for the privacy. If we go to the home page now, we can see that here we have our classes, and if we create anything for the 14th of the August, the event also will be appear here. Let's go to the events and change one of the event to the 14th of the August. Let's say that the field trip, we are going to add it and send to the 14th. So now we have here the event, and if we go to the class register now, here we need to go to the 14th, and here we have the field trip, and we are attending this field trip. So this class with the 10A was cancelled, with the 11A and with the 11A and plus 11B stat, we need to write here the instructions for substitute teacher. And here as well, as we are going to be substituted during that time. In this video, we'll cover how we can create the events and check them in the class register.